Our essential question is, are GMOs perfectly safe to eat? Which is important to answer because GMOs like corn or soybeans are being found in everyday foods. This relates to the unit's topic of genetics because GMOs are made from altered genes. Our claim is that if a plant or animal is genetically modified, then only 1 to 2 genes have been altered. Therefore, GMOs are safe to eat because they can be more nutritious than their counterparts, genetic modification occurs on a natural basis, and studies have found no connection between any diseases and GMOs. It may seem that GMOs can only be made by humans and are unnatural and therefore unsafe.
So I'm a human geneticist and a research scientist, and I know a bit about genetics. So GMO involves a change in the DNA or genetic modification. But some might say genes are already different from person to person. Indeed, you're right.
This is what allowed the first bacteria to become you, which was definitely natural. Humans have also twisted genetic changes in their favor before, and have been doing so for over 30,000 years in a practice known as artificial selection. The difference is that instead of environmental pressures, humans pick the offspring with the favored attributes and breed them over generations and generations to create modern domesticated dogs, cows, cats, and more. Genetic modification today is achieved with more precision and with less time, making it more efficient than artificial selection. Scientists use a CRISPR machine to knock out, add in, or edit a gene within an animal, which, as discussed above, already occurs through evolution and artificial selection. Thus, GMOs are safe, if not safer, than any natural food, since everything is the result of genetic changes.
GMOs are not the cause of diseases. GMOs are created using molecular biology tools that are also used to create medicine to help fight Zika, the flu, etc. Researchers from Harvard split rats into 4 different groups and fed each of them a different diet. According to Harvard.edu, the rats that were fed the GMO foods did not experience any health changes in this compared to the rats that were fed non-GMO foods.
And also, different countries have regulated genetic engineered foods differently as well.
Furthermore, a comprehensive study by the National Academy of Sciences compared the frequency of diseases like cancer, celiac disease, or autism in the United States, which has GMOs everywhere, and Great Britain, which has virtually no GMOs. They concluded that there is no connection between GMOs and any known disease. Thus, GMOs are safe to eat because they do not cause diseases.
Furthermore, not only are GMOs safe to eat, but they can actually have a positive impact on your health, as opposed to organic products. In an article by Dr. Martina, it says that various crops have already been genetically modified with macronutrient and micronutrient traits that will provide benefits to consumers and domestic animals, such as strawberries, corn, and potatoes. According to the Futurism newsletter, genetic modifications make crops more nutritious, bringing a healthful variety to more people worldwide. Thus, GMOs can bring positive benefits to your health, strengthening your immune system and organs.
Politically, there has been a mass debate worldwide deciding if GMOs are ethical and safe or if they should be banned. In many third world countries, GMOs are one possible solution for feeding populations that are in need. According to Lisa Cornish of DevEx newsletter, developing countries are slowly increasing approved legislation and opening the door to research and commercialization of GMO crops. Social and culturally, GMOs and crops have helped sustain populations that rely mostly on vegetation for food. However, on a worldwide scale, the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization estimates that the world will have to grow 70% more food by 2050 just to keep up with the population growth. GMOs will be a crucial factor in keeping up with the demand. GMOs have helped the economy as increasing crop production and stability lowers their price, therefore making food more accessible. For example, David Zilberman said that GMO crops have raised the output of corn, cotton, and soy by 20 to 30% in the past years, lowering the food costs.
Our counterclaim is that although some may say that GMOs are toxic to humans or don't produce enough food to be viable, it has been proven that it is a better alternative for the environment. For example, GMO corn has been genetically altered to be poisonous to the European corn borer but not humans. This allows farmers to use up to 18% less pesticides, which is better for both the environment and saves money for the farmer, says MassiveCSI.com. Genetically engineered crops are also able to cope better with today's conditions. With global warming on the rise, heat and drought-resistant GMOs have been shown to improve harvest by 38% in wheat, 23% in rice, and 68% in corn when the weather is hot, according to NSF.gov. Thus, GMOs can remove the need to use pesticides and even improve harvest despite scalding weather.
3 trends we see that are 1. People tend to be afraid of new things like GMOs, and understanding how something works like genetics can lead to vast improvements in that something, and 3. Humans are constantly slowly driving themselves towards extinction. In conclusion, GMOs are safe to eat because they can be more nutritious than their counterparts, genetic modification occurs on a natural basis, and studies have found no connection between any diseases and GMOs. This is important because with the looming food crisis on our hands and the power to save the human race from self-extinction, humans must turn to GMOs as a source of food rather than giving in to primitive fears of modern science.